The Toronto Harbour is full of raw sewage. That's according to a damning report out by the environmental group Lake Ontario Waterkeeper. The group is claiming that there are 9 underwater pipes, including one here near the foot of Bathurst, that are overflowing into the harbour several times a week, creating dangerous conditions. Describe to us what you mean by raw sewage flowing into our harbour.
On rainy days or when there's more sewage going into the system than the pipes can handle, they will actually flow directly to the lake or to the closest river instead of going to a treatment plant. And it is untreated, so anything that you flush down the toilet is ending up in the lake.
Over the summer, cameras captured these disgusting sights along Toronto's waterfront. A group of environmental investigators began looking into the cause, and here's what they found. These are the hot spots.
These are the hot spots, the 9 hot spots that we found. The worst location that we found was at the foot of Bathurst Street.
Yeah.
And so that was one area where bacteria levels were high, even when there hadn't been any rain.
Those hot spots are part of the city's archaic infrastructure, pipes that tend to overflow into the water. 166 samples were taken over 2.5 months. The report claims that 2/3 of those samples did not meet the Ontario government standards for environmental protection.
So the number one thing that needs to happen is Toronto Harbour should be monitored routinely for water quality, at least once a week, ideally even more often than that, so that boaters get the same water quality information that people get when they go to the beach.
Today we learned the city is well aware of this issue and actually has a multi-billion-dollar upgrade underway that will take more than 10 years to complete. But today no one from Toronto Water could speak on camera. Here's what we got in a statement. As the City of Toronto was not involved in collecting the samples and is not aware of the collection or testing methodologies used, we cannot provide information about them. The city also pointed out that overflow happens during periods of intense, heavy rainfall, something this report claims is a misconception.
The one thing that we found that's a little bit different from people's common understanding is that it only takes a tiny bit of rain to trigger the sewage overflows. So it doesn't happen once or twice a year during an extreme storm. It happens once a week when there's 1 to 2 millimeters of rain.
Just with all the development we're seeing in Toronto, is this going to get worse before it gets better?
Yes, it's getting worse because as we have more development in these areas, office buildings, condo buildings, they're all hooking into the old system. Mm-hmm. So until the system is fixed, we are creating more sewage is going into the lake, and then you add in climate change, which is triggering more wet weather events. We're getting more flooding and overflows than we've seen in the past.
Now, for a full look at this report and the full response from Toronto Water, head to citynews.ca. On the waterfront, Shauna Hunt, City News.